Okay, okay, okay. Hey, hey, hey. What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? All right, let's see what's going on here. Okay, look like we got something here. Hit the mute. Mute. Look like I don't know what I got here. All right. All right, let's see what's up. What's up? What's up? So, what's up to everybody? And look like hardly I got nobody for the moment. All right. So, let's just get a moment to see who pops in here real quick. Of course, you're listening to the Reluctant Nabi and sent out the notices. So let's see what's up, see how much support I got. Um, this video right here is this is going to be a discussion video. Uh, this is going to be a discussion video. Um, reason being, hey, what's up, Space Rice Crispy? All right. This is going to be a discussion video because it just needs to be. Um, some of you may be aware of some of the things that's going on. When we talk about things that's going on in this industry that we have um, up here. All right. And when I say this industry, we're talking about a very, very wicked industry. All right. And it's getting to the point is getting to the point where we can't even get our information. All right, we can't even get our information. Um, hold on for a second. So basically, wait a minute. Basically, what's going on is what I'm trying to do right now is I have gone on to YouTube. All right, on your cell phone, right? And you can't even access um, the screenshot that I have right here. You can't really access um, what's going on. I can't even see if I use my phone. I can't see what you all see right now. This stuff is just getting really, really pathetic. Is getting really, really pathetic. Um, I'm trying to see this right now, and it literally will not let me have access to my own channel. Let's see if it does it that way. Nope, that ain't what I want. All right. So when I put up, and so this is one of the things that's going on. One of the things that's going on with us, brothers, is this: that in an effort to shut us up, we're not even able to access stuff on our own channels. And you have to think this is kind of ridiculous, what's going on right now. All right. And so as we wait for I just want to see what brothers we have coming in. I'm doing this earlier than usual because being that it's, Sabbath, and I'm not really working or doing any work. I was in the midst of packing. So I'm headed to the DR. And as I get to the DR, one of the things that I'm really going to do is I am going to let you all be aware of what's really going on there. Because there's a couple of things that I've noticed, right? I've noticed that it's hard to gather some judgment about going to the DR. And one of the reasons is that only a few guys that are putting out real information about it, right? And so it's indicative of this thing that we're talking about, right? Um, the when I say Order 66 on Afro men with the ABW as the Inquisitors, is just real quick, for those that are in here, how many people know what I'm getting at? All right. And basically this is how we probably should call it, right? We should outright start referring to this thing um as Order 66, because even though this is in fiction, there is some realism to what's going on here. All right. There is some realism to what's going on here, what's happening to the Afro man, the crap that they got going on. There is a real thing to it. Um, there is a thing going on here. All right. And we need to be aware of it. All right. We really need to be aware of it. There is an attack on the hetero man by everything. You're looking at Vogue, where they want the women to lead, and they don't even want if you really look at who they're trying to get to lead something, okay, Rihanna, really, they want the man to be led by that which they control. All right. I want y'all to understand this. They want the men to be led by what they control. All right. You see this, right? They want the man to be led by what they control. Now, there's a lot of stuff going on, and I want y'all to understand this. There is a willful desire to destroy masculinity, especially within the Afro man population. This is why there is such vitriol with the B dub as the Afro man leaves the community by way of passports, right? We're getting out of her grips. We're getting out of the range. We are out of here. And that is something that not only did they not see, not only did they not see it, but apparently they can't handle it either. At no point, I want y'all to understand this. At no point did any Afro man say that B-Dub in any kind of shape were undesirable. At no point did any Afro man say that B-Dub in any hue was undesirable. No one said that. All right. The issue here is that when we now look at these things and when we look at what's going on, that there is an actual war on Afro men, more so than any other group. All right. And when you get back to it, brothers, you have to understand that the leaders of the B-Dubs is the Gov. The leader of the B-Dubs is the Gov, right? So this is why it would behoove you to get your passports, all right, and look for greener pastures, because regardless of what's going on, the grass is greener on the other side, simply because there's no grass left in the United States. Everything has been consumed. The controls have been given to the B-Dub by the state. All right. And the state runs the B-Dub. And the state wants the B-Dub to run the Afro men. All right. And what's really crazy, I want to play a clip real quick, because this is crazy. This is crazy. I want to point out this dude. Because this is indicative of the egregious problem that we have here in the US. All right. Hold on for a second. This is a serious problem. All right, let me get to it real quick. And I want y'all to really pay attention to this. Hold on. T or F. Pay attention to this, because we was commenting on this before. I want you to really pay careful attention to this.
Married women are single mothers?
Okay, so this clip here, the married women single mother mess, right? What I want you to pay attention to, we're used to the B-Dubs. We are used to the B-Dubs, but I want to mention something else about this dude. All right, let's listen to the comment.
Whoa. Get into it. Get into it.
Married women are single? How does that?
I'll give you this explanation. Okay. I'm not, because
now understand, like everybody's like, whoo, like she really said something, but she didn't say anything. Everything is just BS. But look whose show she's on.
My husband actually worked together on raising our kids. Mm-hmm. But there is plenty of households where a woman is solely responsible for raising kids. And a man don't give up.
All right, see this dude right here. This dude was in a discussion with Candace Owens. I want y'all to understand this. And when we talk about sellouts in the true sense of sellouts, right? The worst kind of sellout that you can be is the person that will bring up, remember, the Most High is not the author of confusion. The worst kind of sellouts that we have in the community is the person that acts like, understand this, the prevailing winds, all right, are right, and that you throw science, biology out the window. All right, this dude, I don't know his name because I would never follow his show. And this is why he's in there supporting that mess. Ooh, yeah, she's saying something like that. Oh, well, I agree. He agrees with almost anything a female says, but disagrees with a female if she says something that is scientific and logical. So in this clip, and I think it's going around, somebody sent it to me. He's in the discussion with Candace Owens, and Candace Owens is defining that a woman has a uterus and can have children, right? And then he clips in, he knows some TS that have children. And then Candace Owens clipped back saying, yes, that's because they were biologically female. Understand this. They were biologically female, and then they had the children. Well, that popped in really quick. All right. So I want y'all to understand this. All right. What's up, CJ? Now, this is why I can't respect this dude. What's up, Mental G? All right. This is why I can't respect this dude. Now, listen to the rest of this mess, but listen to how he supports it. This woman is saying some foolish stuff. And this is why our children are effed up. Our children are effed up and relationships are effed up because the B-dub don't want to do the job that the Most High created her to do, which was to be a helpmeet for the man. The man was supposed to be the provider, right? But these women think that they are royalty and that everybody should work for them because for the longest time, they didn't have to work or do anything. All they had to do was have babies, destroy the family, and the government was going to pay them with subpar housing and food stamps. But the government started running out. So the government said, okay, we'll entrap the women. They'll be the new workforce. They'll be the new servants. All right. How are we going to do that? Oh, genius. We'll make them think they're the most educated, to which they're not. Okay. And then we'll make them think that they're the most educated, which they're not. All right. We're going to stack them up with hundreds of thousands of dollars of student loans, which they'll never be able to get off from under, because the careers that they're only going to be able to succeed in will not pay them enough to pay off the student loans in their lifetime. All right. This is the other thing that happened. It made them worthless. Some of you may remember the woman that I was talking to in the United States. All right. And I think one of the real problems that we had, well, one, her, not her mother, but this other woman, I'm not going to mention, but what this other woman, we split up because of another woman. Basically, that's what happened. This woman was telling her how she should trap me, and it wasn't going to work. Now, I didn't mind taking care of her and would not have mind taking care of her, but there was one serious problem. She had a lot of six-figure student loan debt. She had a bunch of degrees. She was proud of her degrees, right? She was very proud of her degrees, but I didn't give a damn about her degrees. And I let her know I'm not paying for her degrees. I said, this is the plan. The plan is you're going to have to get a job to pay off your degrees because I'm not going to let you First of all, I'm not signing no paper that says I'm taking responsibility for a woman's degree. So no, I don't do marriage licenses. Right? Now, if the woman was trying to push me and push us, so we was cool in agreement until this woman, oh no, you need to saddle him up. You need to lock it down because what's the black woman say? You're not married until the government says you're married. But I thought it was a God thing. Well, the government supersedes God in their eyes. Why? Because they get to trap a man financially. They get to make him so let's say I do go against the commandments, get that paper, right? And she divorces me in 5 years. All right, because we got married, unless I get a good lawyer, so I'm gonna have to pay some change to get a good lawyer to get off from under her student loan debt, because her debt becomes community property unless I get a good enough lawyer. Understand? And so we're talking about over $100,000 in student loan debt that I don't have, but I would have as a result of a divorce. And given who her not her mother, but her mother-in-law, step mother-in-law, are because of her trying to con her into trapping me into getting married like she did, which is a trap. I was like, no. You got them student loans, you got those degrees, and really the degrees didn't help her. So she went, got bachelor's, then a master's degree, got all these debts and stuff like that. And neither of them helped her make more money. Right? And so the easy thing is, so say we would have got together and stuff like that. No, we're not doing that. No, I'm not taking responsibility of that. And so she would have came and moved to where I was in my place. Right? Now she leaves. She leave with her debt. Right? Now she'll leave with her debt a little more paid off because she don't have to take care of nothing because I already got that handled. All right. But see, that wasn't good enough. What would have been good enough is for me to be trapped into that thing where they feel like we should take responsibility for choices that they made before they met us. And the answer to that should be a hell to the no. All right. But listen to this. And so these women only think about the man as a servant, and they do this is because even when we clap back, there will always be these simps that go have these shows, and because they are catering to women, all right, they'll accept anything a BW say.
And you define those women as single mothers.
A married woman that's a single mom, yeah.
I
mean, it's legally, no. Yeah. But in reality, if you're a man, and I mean, your household run how your household run. But if you can't help your wife or your girl out with the kids, and you know she need a break, or I saw a video of a girl.
All right, understand this. Understand who's looking at her with foolishness. In the B-dub is the one seeing her as a fool, but the man is like, ooh, she might be saying something. She ain't never saying nothing.
A girl breastfeeding, and she was dozing off breastfeeding. The boyfriend was recording her. Look at you.
Hold on. So basically, she said the boyfriend, and so she is equating a boyfriend in today's day of what a boyfriend is, and that might not be his baby, which is why he's recording her, right? And she's equating a boyfriend to a husband, but her comment was about a husband. Look at how she changed the goalpost real quick. All right. She said, I believe married women can be a single mother, right? And the woman was like, this is foolishness. But the dude was like, oh, she might be saying something, right? But then she goes into her story. Look how mean she looked, right? She goes into her story and she's talking about somebody's boyfriend. All right. So then the other indication is that this might not even be this dude's child. All right.
being reckless. Why wouldn't you just grab your baby? Baby, go lay down for a second. You tired.
Now I get you.
Because she's a single mom.
But you know what? Personally,
Next call.
Now, the other woman said, I get you because that's some single SH. But then again, she's talking about a boyfriend. I want y'all to understand that. She's talking about the boyfriend's talking about, yeah, that's some single stuff. Because, yeah, that is a single mom being run through by a pookie. And that child probably is not his. Oh, we know what time it is.
I potty train my.
Okay? All right. But that dude is a straight up simp. That dude is a straight up simp. Now, to this, when I say Order 66, how many of you know what I'm talking about when I say Order 66? How many Star Wars fans do I have here? All right, I'm a Star Trek fan and a Star Wars fan, right? All right. Here's the problem. They don't want the Afro men to do it in silence, and we're not going to travel in silence. All right. They'll go to Jamaica, come back and talk to all their girlfriends about how they've been run through by them Jamaicans. They'll go to Africa, talk about how they've been run through. All right. Then they'll want to move the Ghana thinking that they'll be somebody's wife, but nobody wants to marry them in Africa because the culture is different and they don't accept, no, I don't need no man. I'm the boss B, and I'm not down your custom polygamy, and I'm gonna have to be the only one, and this, that, and the other, right? And Africa ain't playing that. So these sisters they getting run through. They might come back pregnant, but they're not coming back as wives. All right, they're not coming back as wives. All right, so this is what's going on now. Hey, what's up, Basil? All right, so this is what's going on. So, um, they're going on thinking they're the most educated. They're talking down on these women in the world, right? And I want y'all to understand what was actually happening. All right, so they start talking down on these women. All right. And the reason why I say this is Order 66, because for those of you who don't know what people are talking about when they say Order 66, in a single day, all right, in Star Wars, the Sith destroyed almost all of the Jedi. All right. All of the light force sensitive Jedi. All right. They were destroyed by the Inquisitors. And that's why I said that the B-dub was the Inquisitors. Right. And if you really look at it, you see this onslaught going on here where the powers that be, I want y'all to understand this. The powers that be are trying to destroy the Afro man in spirit and through his soul. And it's the B-dub that's putting this forth. It is the B-dub that are the Inquisitor. It is the B-dub that is leading this. Okay? It is them that are leading this, right? And so basically, here's the thing. And so when you look at the football thing, I told you they were slaves. The NFL, the NBA, and every once in a while you have a rebellious dude like Harry Irving, and then they try to destroy him for rebelling against their thing. All right, remember the juice jab, right? And look at what's happening to NFL people falling out on the field. We know what it is, but they're trying to keep it silent. Here's another thing. In the United States, the most unprotected people are the people that the Constitution was written for. First Amendment, right? The freedom of religion. You know who took that over? The Caucasians. They took that over, right? But not any old Caucasian, the alphabet Caucasians, the rainbow crew. They took it over and said nobody has any rights. As a matter of fact, they get to go into schools and force their bedroom activities onto your children and tell your children, it's in the news, that you don't have the right to know what your children is being taught by them, so much so that you got a TS even speaking out about it, because for some of them, they have a sense of morality and understand that that is a bridge too far. But you know who the target of those are? The people that don't homeschool primarily. That's going to be Afro people. Do you know what you need to be able to homeschool? You need a husband-wife thing. And I mean biblical husband and wife. I'm not talking about one that need to be controlled by the government and a piece of paper. All right. And so, and basically, this is what you have in the B-dub. All right. She wants somebody that she can control while she herself can't be controlled. All right. And so this is what we're having. Right. And so you got these, you got this agenda that is, and this is straight, this agenda is straight coming from the Democrats. So let's call it for what it is. Now, I'll accuse the Republicans of stuff that they're doing. All right. But I won't accuse everybody of something that one person is doing. And this is why. When you accuse the entire group, like if you say Congress, then you're giving the Democrats a pass. So when people go and want to make a choice or want to blame somebody, they don't clearly know who to blame, because even though only one specific group is causing all this mayhem, there is confusion in the minds of these people because you said Congress, the whole Congress, right? And no, you got to call out the people that are doing the stuff. Otherwise, they will never change. They will never change it because they will hide behind the cover of others. All right. And so they're not going after the men. They're going after the boys and teenagers. That's why they're going in school. A lot of the B-dubs, they're going after young dudes that don't know any better, right? If they could trap them with a baby, that'd be good enough. And then they could stop them from traveling just through the child support court system. That's the other thing. I was just talking to a sister. She like, I can't deal with older men. Right, because you don't want anybody that's going to be in charge. You want younger men that you can control. But at the end of the day, you're still going to die alone. All right, destroying any child you have from that younger dude. All right, simply because you want somebody you can control. Right, but that's Order 66, and they are the Inquisitors. They are the ones that's going around seeking to destroy the family, the Afro men. That's the tool that they are using. And this is the method by which they are destroying the Afro men and children. They're directly attacking masculinity, what makes a boy a man, before he becomes a man, by getting with weak men that won't stand up for their child or even their own selves, like that dude on that spot. What's up, people of the book? Hey, what's up, Baruch? All right. And so, this is where we're at, right? And so one of the things is this. I keep saying this. The Most High is not the author of confusion. When you read the commandments without any input from say an imam, a preacher, IUIC, or any input from any other man, and you read it, the commandments are very simple. Don't steal. Don't kill. And when you look at it, it says specifically, how many people know what Ham's sin was? What was Ham's sin? The three brothers, and we'll get to that. What was his sin? Do anybody know? Can somebody tell me what was his sin? All right, can somebody tell me what his sin was? All right, now hold on. Let me just pause. Hold on for a second. Kind of messed up there. I was going. I wanted to pause real quick. I wanted to pause real quick to remind y'all. Let me go back because I'm messing a bunch of stuff up. All right. Let's see what this looked like. Okay. All right. Don't forget. Hold on. Let me do this. All right. I forgot. Okay. Don't forget to get the thumbs up, like, share, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, subscribe. My Cash App and PayPal me will be in the description box. And remember, so will my email, my Twitter. And remember, before you donate, take care of yourself and family first, but the donations will help. The donations will help. So they help me do what I do for the community. So if you can help a brother out, it'll be welcome. And I thank you in advance. But remember, you take care of yourself and family first. All right. All right. No. All right. So basically, when it comes down to this, it's getting to the point where these women are following just extreme maliciousness. All right. Where the power that is being exerted and the things that are happening, I promise you, I was thinking about the Star Wars thing, and I was saying to myself, man, this is just like Order 66, where they get a group of Inquisitors. This will be American B-Dub, right? And they go through and they destroy the hetero men. Remember, they weren't after all, they were after a specific group of Jedi, or they were after the people with power to do right. They were after the people that would stand up to them if they were able to regroup. All right. And because they set this stuff in motion. All right, here's the thing about this Order 66. All right, and this is where we got to be different, brothers. What happened with Order 66 is the Jedi, all right, their mistake was they didn't know how powerful the evil was. They didn't know the evil existed, right? They didn't know that Palpatine was actually Darth Sidious. All right. They didn't know about Darth Maul. So they kept the wickedness hidden. All right. And then it was so hidden that it was accepted as part of a political system. Hold on. Look at the parallels. It was accepted as part of the political system. You had a group of people that supported the most wicked person in the galaxy, because even when he did reveal himself to be wicked, all right, even when Palpatine revealed himself to be wicked, he was able to cover it up with political mumbo jumbo while going ahead and taking over the galaxy. Order 66, it happened because the Jedi didn't see it coming, but there was a few that seen it coming. There was a few that start falling away from the Jedi Council. Like, you got brothers that's getting passports and falling away from the Black community because we see the corruption or the misguidedness in that, because they are following wickedness. If you go back and look, the council became soldiers for the very people that was trying to destroy them. Which is why when Order 66 was given and Darth Vader started going around destroying everything, the very people that was fighting side by side of the Jedi, or who the Jedi was fighting side by side with, turned on them and started eliminating them. All right? And they did not see it coming. The very soldiers that they were fighting with, when that order was given, they instantly turned on them and started eliminating them, because they was so into their community that they didn't see the wickedness that was infesting the whole galaxy. They didn't see how the community could not detect the wickedness because the community was so down for the politicians, the political groups. Y'all see the parallel. And this is what's happening. And George Lucas wrote this, and I think he was looking at how the United States was falling behind everybody. The United States just looks stupid crazy now. Putin got up and made a speech, and he didn't tell a single lie. He said it seems like the political system in the United States is attacking their own families. Look at what happened in Ohio. They didn't do anything to help the people in Ohio, but they sent more money to Ukraine. All right. Mitch McConnell, I don't know how he keeps getting voted in, but just like what happened in Order 66, Operation, look, Baruch. Oh, Lord. Man. Oh Lord. Oh yeah. That's that black girl magic. All right. So when you look at this, right? Right. And so you got all this going on. These women have been showing us for years that they've never been on our side. But we was too drunk with the Kool-Aid to see who they really followed. And it wasn't the Afro community, it wasn't the Afro male. All right. The ABW don't follow us. Hey, what's up, USMC vet? Simplify, brother, simplify. All right. And so here's the thing. So here's the other thing that's going on. I want y'all to see the other thing going on. These women are getting doodad up and they going on these girls' trips. Right? Now, let me ask you this. When these women falsely accuse the passport bros of stuff that they're really not doing, like the pedo stuff and like the predator stuff, right? Now, and here's the irony. Here's the irony. I'll get into the irony in a minute. All right. But these women, all right, what's going on is this. These women, why are they so specific about what the passport brothers are not doing? And we know they're not doing it is because all the women of all the world start clapping back at the B-dub in the US. And they coming hard, right? But why would they be so specific about what they were falsely accusing the Afro men of doing? And that is because the brothers from Africa, they're coming out and letting it be known that it's the B-dub, the older ones with degrees. And the brother from Africa came out and said it's the ones that are in their 30s with degrees are going to Africa, Jamaica, the Bahamas, and they're getting their backs blown out. And then they're coming back. They're the ones that are really doing the XC tourism. They're the ones that's doing the XX tourism. It's not the Afro men. The Afro men, and understand the difference. The reason why the Afro men can actually go look for wives, because the men that are looking have the capability to be husbands by nature. And understand what I mean. The men that are going can in the eyes of these women be defined as husband material. Whether they be good husband material or not, they meet certain criteria. One, they're male. Two, they can travel, which means that they got enough disposable income that they could take care of a woman. See, if it's the man's job to take care of a woman, how you a woman going and said, okay, we're going to be like you and we're going to go take care of some men. We're like, go have at it. Have at that. Go take care of some men in Africa. Go take care of some younger men. And that's what they're doing. They're the ones that's doing that kind of traveling. And part of it is that, one, they want to make Afro men angry and jealous, which that don't work. Right? Because we was already like, you've been run through by the thugs. So we don't care if you get run through by thugs here or thugs there. All right. But they can never be us. Oh, yeah. Yep. There's no irony there. That's just straight up truth. Right. And so this is why I warn people about these things. Remember, everything that they're putting out in movies, everything in the United States, understand this, in the United States, all the stuff that they're putting out in movies is catering to the black woman, white man relationship. Yeah, it's a cultural war between the West and the rest of the world. Yes, it is. And it's one that the brothers are fighting by just saying no. Not only are we not going to argue with the B-Dub, all right, we'll let the simps like that dude do it. All right. But not only are we not going to argue with them, but we are not going to even engage with them for the most part. All right. The B-Dub likes to take everything. Oh, we're the least protected. No, the children are the least protected because they're with the B-Dub. Bottom line, hands down, no ifs, ands, or buts. The children are the least protected because there is no one to protect them from the B-Dub, since the court gives the children to the very people that are doing them the most harm. And that's pathetic. But understand that the court is giving the children to the very people that are doing the children the most harm. There is no way we should be okay with that, but then what can you do about it? All right, what can you do about it when you see it? All right, when you see it. We have the most insane thing going on here. Or this Order 66, it's this bad. It is so bad that we are consistently destroyed by the B-Dub through abortion. Our children are destroyed. All right. Our children are destroyed right before our very eyes. We look at the media, we look at the news, we see that our children are destroyed. All right. And so these women, I'm gonna show you a stat real quick. This was a while back and now it's worse. Hold on, let me see if I could pull up the. At one point, the B-Dub, they're doing it, they're far worse now, but they were taking out more babies than they were birthing. They were taking out more babies than they were birthing. They lead in every negative category. They lead in every negative category. All right. They lead in every negative category. All right. And so it is really that bad. Hold on. Let me show you this. This the B-Dub, y'all. This is what she thinks of children. This is what she thinks of the Afro man. This is the goal for everything. right? The children is nothing. Right. Yes, yes, yes. How many people answer this? Did somebody answer this yet? What was Ham's sin when what did he do actually do to Noah? What was Ham's sin? How many people know that? Right, be few, fruitful, and multiply, and they're subtracting. Right, bear false witness. They're breaking a bunch of commandments. So they're lying on all men because they say all. I'm gonna show you what he did, but that's not it. It has nothing to do with the L. No, nope, not it. Okay, he didn't look upon his father nakedness. All right, he did not look upon his. He didn't look at his father. Okay, yeah, okay, hold on. Let me say this. He didn't see his father naked, but he looked upon his father's nakedness. All right, that's what he did. So what did he do? All right, and so basically, I'm gonna clear that up. I'm just waiting for my program to open up. To understand what, and this is what I'm saying, to understand what he did, you would have to actually go to Leviticus, the 19th chapter. Or the 20th. Hold on, let me see. Day of Atonement. 18th chapter. I was up one off. All right. Leviticus 18th chapter. I used to, when I used to preach, I used to ask these kind of questions. All right. Because people didn't really understand. Hey, somebody real quick, go back to and find the scripture where Ham looked upon his father's nakedness. And it didn't say, no, it wasn't, he looked upon his father's nakedness. He uncovered his father's nakedness. Yeah, make this make sense. Right here. And it's just an extortion scheme. And Mitch McConnell, the head of the Republicans, is in on it too. Okay. Right. And so basically, so here's the thing. So they go down to Jamaica and do these things, right? But they're not wives. They're not wives material. You can't say that you're wife material when you're trying to pretend to be like a man. Okay. And if we assume that the Afro men are the problem, here's the thing, not all Afro men are the problem. It's only a few of them, right? And so, and we'll take a look at this, right? All right. And so yeah, when you look in South Carolina and look in all of this, you will see that really they really have nothing to stand on. All right. What's up, Run Loyal King? People of the book. All right, and that's not going to happen because we would have no place to put it. Okay, so the question of what Ham did has not been answered. Y'all pointed out what it said in Genesis, where it says he uncovered his father's nakedness. So he didn't look upon his father's nakedness. He uncovered his father's nakedness. Okay, so we'll get to that in a minute. So Baruch, so he didn't look upon his father's nakedness. And the reason why this is important. Hey, what's up, Trey? Hey, what's up, Michael? Okay, so let's go back here. So let me pull it up for you real quick. So I'm gonna stop this one. All right, hold on. All right, we're gonna go to Genesis. Okay. Hope I'm in the right. Okay. Um, let's do this. And we're going to look in King James. I would recommend y'all get this. All right. 9 and 22. Okay, and we're going to want this in nine and 22. Okay, so let's do this compare or parallel. Okay, hold on. 9, compare. Okay. Okay, so basically, all right. So what he did was he uncovered his father's nakedness. All right, and these new iterations, they don't do this. So okay, so he uncovered his father's nakedness. All right, so that's what he did. So to get what uncovered his father's nakedness is, you got to go to Leviticus 18, and we're going to go to here. Leviticus 18. All right. And we will start at 18:6. This is what he did. So in the original scripture, he uncovered his father's nakedness. When y'all say he looked upon his nakedness, that's not how it's originally written. Okay. And so what happens is we generally don't, we go with that and like, what did he do? He saw his father naked. But this is why when I tell people to go and read the commandments for yourself, if you go read the commandments first, right? So when I learned Spanish, I learned how to form sentences. I learned vocabulary. I learned the verbs, noun, verb, noun agreement, adjective. Learn the basics, right? So the basics for reading scripture or what's going on in the Bible, the basis of that should be a person going to the commandments and reading them first. Starting at Exodus 20. All right, then go to Leviticus, read the whole thing of Leviticus, or at least start at Leviticus 16 and go to Leviticus maybe 22, but keep reading it like a book, not in lines, not in particular lines. When you read it like a book, you get an understanding of who the Most High is and what the Most High desire in us as a people. All right. But the issue here is we don't read the Bible like that. We read the Bible the way we were taught to read it by leaders who wants us to stay confused. You're not supposed to be read line upon line, precept upon precept. That's New Testament garbage. You're supposed to read it intact in what we learned in seminary called pericope. A pericope is a complete thought. So you read, if you go here, you start at Leviticus 1, you read all the way down, and you get the gist of what the Most High is talking about. Because he said, and the Lord spoke to Moshe, saying, speak to the children of Israel and say to them, I am Yehovah your Elohim. Do not do as they do in the land of Mizraim, where you dwell, and do not do as they do in the land of Canaan, where I am bringing you, and do not walk in their laws. Do my right ruling, my laws, guard my laws, and walk in them. I am Yehovah your Elohim, and you shall guard my laws and my right rulings, which man does and lives by them. I am Yahweh. All right, now this explains. So you got this. Now he's talking about his commandments, his laws, right? All right, and so basically, when you break it down, right, he says this. No one is to approach anyone of his own flesh to uncover his nakedness. Oh, now that even makes it clear in today's English. Right? Ah, yeah. All right. And so this is why I say to stop listening to preachers, stop listening to other men being ahead of you. Now, let us listen to each other. All right. When we find some information, let us share it with each other and share where we got it from. Share why we believe such a thing. Right? And so this is the point, and this is why they don't want us getting together. This is why my channel above all other channels is shadow banned, while at the same time people are preaching my same message. Couple of things they don't know that came from me. D-Police came from me. Hitting the wall came from me. When the B-dubs hit that wall, I'm the one that came up with that. Remember, I had way back in the day. I made them videos of that, them women running into the wall. Okay, I made that, them hitting the wall, and I got it from track. Okay, I got it from track. It was a track metaphor that I grew up with. All right, those that run track know what hitting that wall is, right? Only the wall they hitting is a brick one. So here's the thing, and so this is why, because here's the thing. This is why we need to stop listening to people that the government are putting in, trying to put ahead of us. This is why you don't listen to the B-dub at all. You don't listen to, if you are a man, you have no business listening to them. You don't have any business listening to a damn thing they say. Because when they speak, they're speaking trash on behalf of themselves only. They don't speak for the community. When Ice Cube was making that platinum plan, Vivica A. Fox says that they're not a part of the community. You should do stuff only for B-dubs and F the rest of the community. Right? Now, the reason why I pointed this particular thing out, because I knew that people would misunderstand what happened. I knew the kind of misunderstandings that were going to happen based on how we were taught to look at things by those who were over us. Okay? All right. So we were taught to do a particular thing by those who were over us. Right? And we ran with it. Why? Because right. So here's the thing. And looking at this simple thing of what we were taught, right? We weren't taught this, that what Ham did was he slept with his mom, right? Now, when you look at what happened after that, I'm going to blow your mind with something else. Ham, the Most High did not curse Ham. The Most High cursed the product of Ham and his mom, which was Canaan. You see, Canaan was cursed because Canaan was the seed of Ham, not the seed of Abraham, Noah. So he was the seed of the son that slept with his mom. He was the seed of next of kin. And only Canaan was cursed. His land wasn't cursed. He was cursed. You see what I mean? So it's Leviticus chapter 18. Now, if you go and you really don't have an understanding, just read the whole chapter. And this is why I said read. Now, it would be, if you read the whole thing, if you read more than what I just gave you, you should get an idea. But if you keep reading, it nails it home. It nails it home that you understand that the Most High is talking about incest, that you don't do it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, about yeah. So on YouTube, what I'm saying is it's an old term that I got from track, but it was used on YouTube when I first started making my channels and so the saying as it applied to these women, right? It wasn't popularized until this channel started using it with the women actually hitting the wall. All right, but it was a track metaphor that I got that from. Yeah, it's like the moment where exhaustion hits you enough to make you want to stop running. It's called that wall. Right. And she follows Zaddy, not you. Exactly. All right. So basically, all right. So this is why I tell people get the idea, but then look further than this. All right. I tell them get the idea, but look further than it. And the reason why you look further, because if you read down, if you read all the way down, all right, if you read all the way down, you would get what we're talking about. You would get that understanding. When you read all the way down, it becomes clear as day. And the way y'all just really started to really understand what Ham did, right? This is how we should look at the rest of the world. One, everything that we've been taught, assume that it was a lie. And I'm going to be real with this. Everything that we've been taught by schools and everything, assume that it was a lie. Like Chris Columbus did not discover a damn thing. All right. That the Mongolian Indians were not the first people on this land. It was Afro people. All right. And here's the other thing. Teotihuacan, the big pyramids that are in South America. All right. That when the Aztecs were living in these pyramids in Teotihuacan, when they were living and when they had their society, everything when they got there was already built. The Aztec did not build those pyramids. They were already there when they got there. They took it over. All right. They were a conglomerate of just a bunch of the native people, right? And so when they got there, when they got to these lands, okay, I'm about to open up the panel. Open up to have a panel because it's cuts this further. But when they got there, those the everything that was built was already there. Oh yeah, and remember, this is how. And remember, we discussed this like way back when I was first talking about this. Back when I was in university, that the Aztecs, all right, and the Mayans that were before the Aztecs and the Incas, they worshiped all their gods were Afro, and meaning that they had afros. When I say when all their gods were Afro people, or many of their gods, not all, let's say many of their gods, many of their first gods were Afro people. The god of wisdom and the hunt were Afro people. Yeah, yeah, there's a lot of people. So Afro people, here's the thing. When I say they were Afro people, yes, they had afros. All right, panels open. So the link is right here. All right. Yeah, they had afros, right? And so basically, right. But here's the thing, white men, all right. Oh, here's the other thing. Here's the other thing. The other reason why black women are using this tact of calling the Afro men, and understand why they're only calling the Afro men the preds and what do they call them? Predators and pedos. Is that before we start leaving in droves? So Afro men have always been appreciated in other countries, but we were there primarily as a military force. We went with the military. All right. We weren't like getting passports on our own, like at regular guys in the community and then leaving. Right. And so we were never leaving like the Caucasian men had always been leaving. Older Caucasian men have always traveled outside of where they were to go find women elsewhere. All right. They've been on this game for a minute. All right, we are just catching on as a group. Now, as far as the military brothers, yes, exactly. I was going to get there, Brother Cortez. And what's up, by the way? So what's going on is so in a desire to try to trash Afro men, what's happening is all of the skeletons are starting to fall out of the B-Dub's closet, and stuff that we suspected to be going on. Hey, what's up? Oh, just keep reading down. And if you go into 16, Leviticus 16, 17, I will read Leviticus 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 through 21. All right, and it talks about the blood stuff and all the rest of that stuff. What's up, K Dot? But see, let them copy. Here's the thing. If you are a righteous man, you shouldn't care about the pookies, passport pookies. You got 3 groups that's starting to lead now, and everybody is following us dudes that's been doing it since 2016 outside of the military. Now, I say outside of the military because y'all know that I was stationed in Germany. I had German girlfriends, and so I could speak to that, right? But outside of the military, all right, when I start traveling, that was part of this passport, get away from the B-Dub movement. The first time I was traveling, it was like, I'm in the army, these women are pretty nice, I guess I'll talk to one. You see, there's a difference in traveling to get away from a group of women versus I was just in a place because of my occupation, right? So as this thing was taken up, and then before I started, there was a bunch of guys that were already traveling. And remember, this movie by Al Griggs, Frustrated Black Men in Brazil, that really shed the light on options that the Afro man had. And then my friend Charles Tyler, and we used to talk about this on the phone all the time, right? Because we even had a problem with Pookie's then, because he was talking about, because Charles Tyler's, so you go to Brazil, he would give you tours and stuff like that. And we was having discussion. He's like, man, you just can't take some of these dudes everywhere. And he was just really shocked at how just belligerent some of the so-called brothers were. And he was really upset about some of the dudes that was coming in these groups. He was like, he was upset about the amount, right? And so you got the same thing going on here. Okay. You got so the line is open. So let me let you know. So it's open. So if you want to come on and say something personally, and come in the mix, it's open, right? And so basically, when we were having this And so what happened is there was a lot of brothers that went and settled in Brazil. This was before the Olympics and stuff. Brazil was a different place before they got the World Cup and the Olympics. And getting the World Cup and the Olympics ruined Brazil. Slowly but surely, but it ruined Brazil. Okay. And so what's happening, it's still a better place than here, though. All right, because the craziness that the United States is on, with the just the destruction. But anyway, and so basically, you got the passport pookies. They're followers. You got the content creators who are also followers. They don't lead nothing. They don't lead nothing. Right? They bounce around to different places to make money off of YouTube, solely to do that. And the dude that they're really trying to follow is Ace. Now Ace come and he do some good. He made not friends with hotties, but if you notice that Ace, he's like me in that he has friends with people, real people in the community, like mothers, fathers, grandmas, people that he helps on a regular basis in the communities. They're glad to see him come, right? They're glad to see him come back. All right. And so that's his effect. And then you got other dudes that's just hopping around like Holloman. He's not a passport brother. He's a content creator that saw a bunch of other dudes doing it. And he's like, okay, people are thirsty to just see women and how you pick up women, even though the people looking to see how to pick up these women will probably never leave the United States. All right. And so you got this, and then you got the passport bros that's like, okay, I'm looking at information, I'm looking for information, and I'm busting a move, I'm out. I don't know what country, so they're looking at us, give them the ins and out of certain countries, and I do the same thing. I look at Sunshine Shoulders, and like, yeah, the Philippines is looking real good, right? But I think did one dude shared an apartment complex that had a studio in it, and I was like, in the Philippines, and I was like, you know what? I want to go and stay in the Philippines. Period. When I saw that, I said, oh, I wouldn't have to worry about bringing my drums. They got that already there. I would bring a bass and my keyboard. Okay, I would bring my bass and my keyboard. As y'all seen the other day, so I loaded up all the soccer balls that I'm taking to different places, and so I got Columbia covered and stuff like that. And so I gotta take my keyboard. All right, and so some of these dudes, they're just doing stuff just for entertainment purposes and to make money. Right. And then they're going to come back and settle in the United States as an influencer, because this is a thing now. A lot of people are selling their souls to be influencers. They want to influence stuff. They don't want to teach nothing. They want to be influencer. They want to be paid to be used by corporations so that the corporations can make more money off of the destruction of the rest of the people in the US. All right. And so this is the thing, influencers. All right. They want to be famous for something. They don't care what they're famous for. They just want to be famous for something. How can you discover a continent with population? Yeah. Okay. And here's the thing. And so we get to this, why the Afro people in the United States have absolutely no history before slavery. And you have to really think about this and ask a quick critical question. Why is it that Afro? Oh, thanks for the donation, Chloe, CLO Design. Thanks for the donation. All right. If you look at this, you have to ask yourself, why don't we have a history? Because like the Romans did, like Julius Caesar did when he destroyed the library at Alexandria, they were trying to wipe out knowledge. One of the most heinous things about the Romans is they were trying to wipe out knowledge like they wiped out the Druids and the Germanic people. And the key to all of this was this. Our power. I want y'all to understand me when I say this. Okay? I want y'all to get a clear understanding. Our power as a people, if you don't understand, get this understanding. Our power as a people has always been rooted in our spirituality. Right? It was the one thing that we had over everyone. We had a deeper spirituality that they could not get with. Our spirituality was way deeper than theirs. And they couldn't match our spirituality. All right. And so this is something I want you to understand. Because I could just kill a man. But that the spirituality that we had was so deep. All right. The spirituality that we had is so deep that a lot of people can't understand who we really are. Hold on for a second, people of the book. Hold on for a second, y'all. All right, people of the book, let me get you up in here. All right. So when I say that, what the Romans did, okay, what the Romans did is they went to destroy the library at Alexandria. And why they did that is because if you notice the Egyptians, all right, they had a spirituality about them, right? And so here's the other thing. When they went and got us in Israel and Egypt as well, all right. So the documentation for the monotheism was in Israel and Egypt. So you had Hebrews in Israel and Egypt. The Messiah that we come to know, or that most people are kind of aware of, is the Messiah, the Jesus, the made up Jesus, comes from actual real Messiahs. All right, there were two of them, one in Egypt and one in Israel. The thing is that Messiah is a warrior. not some peace turn the other cheek kind of person. Mashiach is you just put a false god in our temple. Oh, it's time to wreck house on you, right? That's what those are, right? And so what happened is that the Romans destroyed when they went into Israel. They destroyed all the spiritual guidance that was in Israel as well. All right, and they took the scrolls back and they refashioned the religion based on those scrolls. So they look what was in the scrolls, and then the New Testament. That's why the New Testament is opposite of what it says in the Old Testament. But if you read the New Testament, they're trying to tell you when it says, "If my people follow the commandments," right? They will tell you that the commandments is the end all be all. They weren't done away with. All right. And so you got that. Go ahead. What do you got, people of the book?
You're right. As usual, most people are reading or studying the New Testament. They don't bother read the Old Testament. And I know and I believe in Isaiah chapter 45. The Most I say, I'm the only God. Is the only. I don't give my glory to anyone. And everyone I know in Brazil or Canada or Haiti or United States, they worship Jesus. So
Yeah.
break at least two commandments. One, you worship another God. Two, that's a form of idolatry, right?
Yep.
And the worst part, Jesus does not exist. That's something fictive. And you say when you look previous deity and previous civilization, um, they had their Messiah. And if you look, example, Hindu, you have Shiva, or you look the I don't remember um, the Greek and also the Persian have a lot of deity, and they had the same trait, 12 disciples born December 25, uh, uh, born from a virgin, and all those things. But people, first of all, don't study, don't research. When you tell them the truth, you put the facts in their face, you border their illusion, and they are mad at you. And a lot of time, even though they know that's what they believe is a lie, but they are comfortable with the lie. So sometimes now I'm fed up because a lot of time I try to show the truth to my friend or my family, but I just spoke with my mom. You say, and soon I say yes, I will do for some time, and you say, oh, you see, not eating pork, and I said, no, I don't eat pork. I don't eat shrimp because they are scavenger, or I don't know word in English, when you throw the garbage, basically that's what they're doing. And she asked me for the verse. I say it's on Leviticus. That's why I asked you the question. But I found that it's on Leviticus chapter 11. And the Most High discussion, all the things you're not supposed to eat. And my mom asked me because she speaks French, so I said in French for her. And even though you give you the proof of what you say, but they love the New Testament because the New Testament don't have any order, right? It's all about feeling.
Hey, yes.
So that's
Yeah.
the problem. It's all about feeling. And
It's all about feeling. And you know who the New Testament was for? It was for females.
Yes.
And so that's the issue. All right. And so this is what he was referring to, y'all. Isaiah 45, and we bring it up all the time. And I'm gonna have to put this video back up. Who is Jesus really?
Yes.
All right. And
But
a friend of mine did a video
I will
way
send.
back.
Excuse me. I will send you a link about the copycat of the previous deity. You see that basically take copy the
Oh,
previous
I
deity.
already did. I did a bunch of videos on that.
Okay, good, good.
But we got one that compares what it says in the New Testament to
Mhm.
one, and I'm gonna have to put it back up because I don't think I have it on this channel, right? But so hey, bow down to you. They make supplication to you, saying, "Indeed, El is in you, and there is none else, no mighty one." All right, truly, you are El yourself, O Elohim of Israel, right? Savior, and um, so let's go to what the brother was saying, brother, people of the book.
Is there something else? Chapter 46, I believe 49 too, and Isaiah also the most I mentioned is there no one beside me. He repeat that maybe four or
Right?
five times.
It's in 46. Yep.
45, 46, 49. I don't understand why people don't get it. And when you
Uh-huh.
understand what the Flavian did,
I got it up on screen real quick.
okay.
All right. I got 45 up. So I've got Isaiah 45. I put from I started at the first part of that pericope. I started at the first part of pericope. All right. So Isaiah 45 and 18. For thus says Yahweh, creator of the heavens. He is Elohim, former of earth, its maker and established. He did. Right? He not created to be empty. He formed it to be inhabited. I am Yahweh, and there is none else. All right. He says there is none else. There is no Jesus. Isaiah 45, 19. I have not spoken in secret in a dark place.
After,
Right?
can you put the chapter 46 after and
Yeah,
verse
I
9?
am.
Okay.
I am. Okay. Hold on. Let me put this 45 and 21. Go to 45 and 25, and then
46 and 46
no,
and
I'm gonna put all of 46. I know where you're at.
yeah.
But hold on, wait. Let me put this up for them to see. Okay. Um,
People don't know the story of the Flavian dynasty. They don't know why
uh,
they
they
removed.
do on this channel because we go over that. Hold on for a second. Hold on for a second, brother. Okay. All right. The women are following us because without us, they are nothing. And what I mean by without us, they are nothing, because they are warring against us. We have to be in the fight. But if we go somewhere else and find other women, then they won't be able to touch us. They won't be able to touch our children because other women will bear our seed. Remember, it's always been about us, and we make everybody Afro because we are the seed bearer. We are the seed maker. We make the seed in our loins. All we need is a willing vessel to receive the seed and raise it. Since they're not a willing vessel, them and their minions try to deceive us into thinking that in order to have an Afro child, it's not even about an Afro child. We need to have children that's going to come up respecting the Most High and stuff. And you can't do that with the BW in the United States. Now, if you look at Isaiah 45 and 21, right? Um, and go after the question. He asks a question: declare and bring near. Let them take counsel together. Who has announced this from old? That's a question. Who has declared it from that time? That's a question. Is it not I, Yahweh, Jehovah, Ahiah? All right. There is no mighty one besides me. And that's not a question, that is a statement.
Mhm.
A righteous El and Savior. All right, so El is the Savior, not Jesus. Jesus can't save nobody. There is none besides. Understand that. He is the righteous El and Savior. There is none besides me, he says, right? And so what the Romans did is, what the Flavians did is they went and they said, okay, we'll make somebody else and get them to bow down to somebody else, thereby corrupting them for generations to come. Okay, turn to me and be saved. The only hold on, all of you ends of the earth, for I am El, and there is none else.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's just making this clear. I have sworn by myself, a word has gone out of my mouth in righteousness and shall not return, so that to me every knee shall bow. Wait a minute. So there was a song I used to play, right? Every knee shall bow, every tongue shall confess that Jesus is Lord. That Jesus is Lord. And so, but then when you really go back, and this is why the preachers don't have you read too much into the Old Testament. This is why they don't want you to read the commandments. This is why they don't have you read Isaiah. They make you think you read Isaiah because they pick out certain scriptures all over Isaiah and avoid others. And then you done thought I read Isaiah because they led you to what to read. And then they explained it to you instead of you reading, and you get this. All right. So a word has gone out of my mouth in righteousness and shall not return. So to me, every knee shall bow, every tongue shall swear. Isaiah 45:24. One shall say, only in Ahiah, Yahweh, Yahweh, do I have righteousness, but it's spelled like that. And so he said, only in him do you have righteousness and strength. He comes to him, and those displeased with him shall be put to shame. Isaiah 45:25. In Yahweh, all the seeds of Israel shall be declared righteous and boast. Right? There is no Jesus. Right? And this is why preachers don't want you to read the um, the Old
But
Testament.
that's what you say is true, but it's what I believe
Hold on,
it's
hold
what,
on. Remember this.
but it's worse than that because a lot of people don't know. They remove some book of the Bible, and they alter the Bible with the New Testament fraud. And some people believe there are only 66 or 80 books, but when you go on chapter 44 of Esdras,
Uh-huh.
I believe 5 prophet and 40 day wrote 200 books.
Right.
and and also the book of Enoch, Jasher, Jubilee were on the first Bible, and those books explain a lot of things.
Right. Let me
I
say this. Let me say,
explained.
let me reply to this real quick. He said it's a spiritual world, not a physical one. A spiritual world war is a physical one. And that's the other thing we got to get right. A spiritual war is a physical one. All right. Because we hold the spirit in our physical bodies. So when they're warring against our spirit, they're warring against us physically too.
Yes.
Right? And that's why we got to stand up, be strong, and be ready to. We need to be ready to fight physically to protect ourselves spiritually.
Yeah.
Right? And that's why we're supposed to be strong and stuff. Um, yeah, all women will test you to see if the simp gene is planted in you. Yeah, she needs to know what she could get away with. That's why they're going after these younger dudes in the hood. And these dudes will go there for easy coochie. All right, because they don't have to marry them. They don't have to. This is a win-win for the for Pookies, right? So yeah, it's about our bloodline. And the B Dub was here. They should have been helped, but they weren't. They became a pariah instead. And so here we go. Remember this, show yourselves men, turning back your transgressors, right? Isaiah 46 and 9. Remember the former events of old, for I am El, there is no one else. Elohim, and there is no one like me. Isaiah 46, declaring the end from the beginning and from the old that which has not been done, saying, my counsel does stand, and my delight do I do. Oh, excuse my delight I do. 46:11, calling a bird of prey from the east, the man who executes my counsel from a distant land. Indeed, I have spoken it. I also bring to pass. I have planned it. I also do it. Isaiah 46:12. Listen to me, you stubborn hearted, who are far from righteousness. Isaiah 46:13. I shall bring my righteousness near. It is not afar off. My deliverance is not delayed. I shall give grievance in Zion and my esteem to Israel. Okay, so hold on. Wait. Right? And so basically, hold on. There was another one I wanted to get to.
Maybe chapter 49.
Hold on. Both come suddenly. But evil is knowing and understanding. Let me see. 48. Hold on, let me see.
48 or 49, I don't remember.
No, 48. Yeah. Hold it. Here it is, O house of Jacob, who are called by the name of Israel, and have come from the waters of Yehuda. You have heard all of them declared now. All right. Hold on. Wait. For my name, I say, I postpone not this place of my praise is sent back. I have refined it and furnished it to the sea also. Okay. It's 48. 12. Okay. Hold on, wait. Listen to me, O Jacob. I am the first. I am the. Yeah, let's put this up. 48:12. So, hey, y'all. So, if you go and look at what they say about Jesus, he's the first and last, but Jesus is not Jehovah. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, basically, what the Romans did, what the Flavians did, put this up here real quick. So what the Flavians did is they went and they took all these scriptures in the Old Testament, all these commandments that we were given, and they corrupted them, put it on a fictitious dude, all right, and they made the fictitious dude, who was a black dude at first, and this is why the first pictures were black. They made this fictitious dude, the fake Jesus, right? They made him God. But if you look at here, listen to me, O Jacob, and my call. I am he. I am the first. I am also the last. He is the first and the last. Right? Who did they say is the first and the last? They give it to Jesus. But Jesus is not Jehovah. Foundation of the world. Right?
Nabi, they did something else. What you say it's true because I had the same conclusion, but they also took some part of the prophet Malachi, and I don't know, and this because he went to the heaven, right? He went to the heaven. He did not die, so they used some part of Malachi also to mix with Jesus. So they took on Isaiah and also Malachi. So
now here's the other thing about Malachi. When you look at the third.
Sorry. One more thing. Regarding Malachi is supposed to return and give us the final warning. If you read, I can give you the verse later because I don't remember right now. But supposed to return, give us a final warning before the final judgment. And when they're using Jesus, will come back. Blah blah blah. That's where they took it from the Bible. So
right.
I will give you a verse in a few minutes because.
All right, and so basically, and so this is what we have here, right? What's up, Lord Vader? Right? And so this is what they have here, right? And so when we look at it, when we start looking at this stuff, all right, when we start looking at this stuff, right? You see the mind games that they were playing on us as a people. You see the mind games that they were playing on us as a people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's see. All right. So when we go and we look at this, right? When we
Nabi,
go and we look,
the chapter Malachi is chapter 3. Read it after, and you see the warning and how to emulate or copy this part and graft it to Jesus. Malachi chapter 3.
Mm-hmm. Hold on for a second. All right, so when we look at this, all right, I want y'all to understand. I'm getting back to the original point, and the original point is this, and this is a point that should not be missed, right? That the relationship that we really have with the B Dub is an adversarial one. Okay, it is an adversarial relationship. All right, and this is something that y'all should understand. All right, that she was not really our friend. All right, remember, it's just a level of witchcraft, fake everything, fake everything. You don't even know who you're sleeping with. If you're sleeping with them, you don't know who you're sleeping with, right? And they're not looking to follow a man, right? They're not looking to follow us. All right. They
Like I,
they don't really they
like I,
don't really care. Go ahead.
like I said before, I wrote before, some people criticize the passport broke, but they don't understand history repeat itself. When you read Genesis chapter 24, Abraham sent his servant to look for a wife outside Canaan because the women were, a lot of them were witch and were wicked and doing bad things. And he- the servant went to look, I believe, for Rebecca and he bring to Isaac, right? The son of
Right.
Abraham. And a lot people don't understand that if the woman is wicked, uh, everything you try to do, she will destroy, and you have a lot of problems. So it's better for men who want family or want peace of mind to move away. And when you vote with your feet, your wallet and your passport, you take all your power with you because the woman depend
Uh,
on the system. And right now we see the system is crumbling right now, and we have a
right.
eviction process. We have a lot. We have inflation. We are a lot of layoff. So that's we have a she session. That's the word. And
Mm-hmm.
men and also, some people know about Sun Tzu, the Chinese general, right? And he
Right.
always say to defeat your enemy or adversary, you don't need to engage. Just deprive your enemy from your resource, your presence, and you win
Yes.
the war or the fight. And when we apply that principle, we are winning right now.
And here's the thing, we're applying that principle kind of naturally. The Afro man is applying that principle naturally, right? Because here's the thing, getting back to this Order 66, right? They have used them to utterly destroy the community and us, and we are the community, right? We're the one that we make the seeds in our loins and pass them, and so the community goes where we go as men, all right? Because we're the builders, all right? The women come for the resources and stuff. This is something that women outside of the United States know, right? But again, them and their simps are being led by Palpatine. All right, it's the same thing. They're taking the money, giving it to another country, giving all the money and stuff to another country. I want y'all to think about that for a second. Who else allows people to do this to them? All right, and then you have these dudes that's thirsting for this, right? And they say, well, we'll get into all, we don't care what kind of problems we have, what kind of trouble we get into. These are queens, these are queens, our queens. All right. And here's the thing, you got issues if you're worshiping this. You got issues when you're worshiping the coochie that's been worn out and run through by everybody all over the world now. And so this is why they are so specific about what they accuse us of. They're so specific about their accusation because this is what they were doing when they were traveling. When they were going to Dubai and all of this stuff, porta potties. All right, when they were going to all of these places. And so what we see here, what we see here is that that they're accusing us of what they would do if they were in our shoes. But the reason why we didn't accuse them of anything, because we was like, oh yeah, we would just travel just to travel. We believed them. That's our issue. We believed them, but they were lying, right? They were lying. And so let me really quick say this. By the way, don't forget my PayPal and Cash App is in the description box. For those that donated to my channel, thank you in advance. Let me see what else I got to say.
Beside Cash App, yeah, because I cannot use my Cash App.
So my PayPal and Cash App. Hold on, let me. When you donate, remember you take care of yourself and family first. All right. My Twitter is in there too, so I'm gonna start posting my old videos from TikTok, which keeps banning my channel. Well, TikTok banned my channel 3 times, so I'm out of there. So I'm not. And what they were doing is, for brothers, they banned our channel, but they still want you to look because they have access to your phone while their app is on your phone. And so I was like, if they're not going to let us speak, I would, and unless you want to hear smut and all the rest of that stuff, then keep them on your phone. But I would delete the app totally from your phone. All right, because their app is very, very intrusive, right? And they are carrying water for the Democrats. So if you say anything about the Democrats, they're going to, and if you call stuff, the video that got me banned, I showed it to you, was when I pointed out that Susan Rice came out to shut down Snoop Dogg, and that was a public event because she did it publicly. TikTok banned my channel for that. All right. So yeah, I wiped it off all my phones, so I don't have the app at all. Right? Hey, what's up, Afro Truth? Hey, what's up, Young Boy 24? All right. Hey, Roger Spice. All right. And so that's basically it. So when we're looking at these things, that cover everything. Oh, don't forget the thumbs up. If you're just coming in, thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channels, please subscribe. All right. So when we look at this, right? Um, that the country has not failed us because the country was never for us. And I want y'all to understand that. If you look at everything we're doing, we were never supposed to sit and wait for a dude in the sky to come and do anything for us. All right. We were supposed to wait from wisdom to come from the Most High so that we would understand how to do things for ourselves. Because that's why he gave us a brain, hands, and feet. Right? If he was going to do everything for us, he wouldn't have gave us brains, hands, and feet. We have choice and we have free will. This is why evil exists. All right. If only good exists, you can't have free will. You're obeying God because that's all that exists. But if he gives you a choice and you want to do wickedness, that's on you. You just suffer the consequences of that. Right? This is why evil exists. All right. The only people that tries to take choice and free will from people are people. Like, and this is what I was saying before. The LGBTQRS people are the only ones in the United States that are wielding enough political power and power on these apps to shut you down completely. They've even gone after people who were protected by the First Amendment, whose speech was protected and whose religion was protected. But these people said, we don't give a damn about the First Amendment. We're going to force them to allow us to have access to teach their children, which we can't have anything we want. We are going to force people to call us by initials that has absolutely nothing to do with biology, history, or what they want to do. We are going to force people to have what we want them to believe shoved right down their throats. And if they stand against that, we will shut them down. We will prevent them from working. If they could, they would take our lives.
That's why the West is on verge of total collapse. And also, like I said before, the president of Russia, I'm not going to say his name, is say it's
oh, he called out the U.S.
Yes, it's a cultural war between the West and the rest of the world, and the rest of the world does not accept all those things.
Right. And that's why, and people don't understand how bad it's about to get.
Yes.
All right. But the people don't understand how bad it's about to get because they follow blindly the Democrat Party. And we're not saying the Republicans are any good because Mitch McConnell is in on this and he's a Republican. All right. David Bowman. No, I don't have TikTok on any of my phones or anything. I deleted them off of everything because they're intrusive. And because, hold on, let me finish this. Because TikTok, their app is very, very intrusive. But for that intrusiveness, they are not allowing they are very racist towards Afro men. I was looking at a nephew, and his channel was deleted for talking about gun safety, but white people could do it. But his channel was deleted, and I was like, that's suspicious. And then I started talking to a lot of other brothers, and yes, it's an ongoing thing that white people and black women can talk about things on TikTok. All right. And so long as you agree with the black women, you could talk about it. But if you say anything contrary or truthful, all right, if you put up, and a lot of my videos, I put up the truth. But if you put up the truth and the truth goes against the women or the Democrat Party, this is what I'm finding out. They will take your channel down. All right. And in the review, they will not put it back up. And just to prove it, the videos that they took my channel down for, I put them up here I put them up on Twitter. And I put an example of what they did up here on YouTube. All right. It's public knowledge that Susan Rice did that, right? And so basically, yeah. So I would say this, brothers. I would start to, if you're not actively making money on TikTok, or if you don't have a message, if you're just on TikTok for entertainment purposes and you don't have a real message that help anybody, I would delete it off your phone. Just get rid of the whole thing, because no sense giving racists that much power, or that much leverage over your identity and information. Period. Okay. So that's my take on that. All right. So don't forget the thumbs up button too. All right. So go
Can
ahead.
can you read Malachi chapter 3?
Okay. Malachi chapter 3. Let's put that up. Malachi. The first one.
Hold on a second. Let's see if I got
I'm
it.
putting the first verse up. Oh yeah, they trying to make this messenger Jesus.
Yes, that's what I said. When because when you understand all the fraud he did with the Council of Nicaea, they add
Also,
the
I
fraud.
see it.
Yes, they
Uh
add
huh.
the New Testament the fraud. You understand also to remove a lot of book. Example, to remove Apocrypha
Hold
and a
on,
lot.
hold on, hold on. Okay. Lord Vader, we're erasing TikTok. We're deleting or uninstalling TikTok from our cell phones. All right. Unless you actively are doing stuff like putting out information, I would start taking it off the cell phones, because the only thing that they're going to allow, that they are allowing black women to talk about deleting Afro men and our children, and that's fair game. But if you say anything about the Democrats, that something that they did politically that is on record, right? They'll ban your channel. You could put another one up very easily, but that's what they want you to do. All right. And so what happens is every time I get close to 3,000 followers, they have the channel deleted, right? And then they want you to start all over. But it's a way that they make sure your message never gets past a certain number of people. And so with that being their plan, and since they're doing it to so many Afro men, it's time to just really get rid of them. Just get rid of them. If you're listening to me, I'm promoting that we should get rid of them because they're racist. I didn't think they were this racist, but apparently they are. Okay, this is Malachi 3.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hold on. Malachi chapter 3. Uh, Soap of a launderer. So cleanse, and he shall cleanse the sons of Levi and refine them as gold and silver, and they shall belong to Yahweh, bringing near offering in righteousness. Yeah, so they put this, and this is so what you're seeing is a conglomeration of a whole lot of Old Testament stuff. And keep in mind, the Old Testament, as we are reading it in English, is not really the Old Testament anyway. All right, and this is why I said the one thing. This is why I said when you go back and read the Bible, start with the commandments, and then when you go back and read the stories, like I pointed out, what did Ham do? Now you understand that he slept with his mother. How do you know that? You went and read the commandments, and Leviticus clearly states that you uncover your father's nakedness by sleeping with your mom. It clearly states that. So it clearly gives you the definition of what some of the phrases are that they're using. So now you understand what the deed really was. He didn't see somebody naked. He slept with his mom and created a child. Right?
Okay.
The right ruling, and I shall be swift witness against the practices of witchcraft and against the adulterers and against them that swear up to a falsehood and against those who oppress the wage earner.
Read it until the verse 6.
Hold on. No, I only got part of that. That's 5. I only put part of that up, right?
Okay, I can say, for I'm the Lord, I change not, therefore your son
No,
of
hold on. I'm gonna put it up. Let me put it up first. Okay, let me. Okay, and here we go. And stop looking at this as a church religious document. It used to be our laws, and everybody had spiritual laws. That's why we had spiritual lines that we wouldn't cross. If you look in Africa and stuff like that, um, what they did was they incorporated a lot of their spirituality in Christianity and Islam to get the Africans to follow it, because in their spirituality they wouldn't have no man on man and woman on woman, right? They know something is corrupt about that. Okay, go ahead, let's see. Okay, Malachi 3 and 6, go ahead, read it.
For I'm the Lord, no, for I am should not change in you, a son of Jacob should not come to the end. But in my case, different. For I'm the Lord, I change not. Therefore, your son Jacob are not.
Okay, I have at least the original names in phonetic spelling. For I am Yahweh, I change not, and you, O son of Jacob, shall not come to an end.
This verse
All
is
right.
important. This verse is important because people believe the Most High will change based on your feeling. But
Bring a new doctrine, it's a new testament, it's a new thing. Jesus brought a new thing. We don't have to do the commandments anymore.
but
And
people,
the people that wrote the New Testament was warning you. And it's like the enemy that's captured, and they warn you that what they're writing is not really the truth, and they're
yes,
sending a message back to the United States. And the United States, like, he's blinking in Morse code. He's blinking. I am not meaning to write this. And they put in little stuff like the church itself is the demon. They
so
put in stuff like that if you love me, you will keep my commandments. So the commandments are not the commandments are not grievous. They're easy. They are easy for people that aren't wicked.
exactly, because what, like I say, the Most High did not change for us. That's one thing. And if you read the Malachi chapter 4, the verse 1 to 6 to 6,
I'm getting into it.
because those verses are extremely important, but people don't bother read that or don't care, whatever.
Because hold on, because I'm gonna tell you why. They don't read this is because church don't teach you to read it.
You're not supposed
All
to.
right.
You're not supposed to follow blindly someone. You may listen to someone. You may have respect for someone. You have to,
right. And so here's the problem, right? Here's the problem, and this is what we got to get away from, right? We got to not look at this. We got to look at this kind of as a legal document between us and the Most High. All right. Hey, what's up, Kelly? You. All right. We got to look at this kind of as a legal document. All right. And stop looking at it as a religious document.
Yes, exactly. I had this argument with a lot of people, and when I talk about the scripture and whatever, and I say, show me in the Bible where the Most I say, I give you religion. he gave us commandment and statute, right?
Right.
And now we have almost over 200 religion. It doesn't make any sense. If you use your common sense, it doesn't make any sense. You know something wrong with religion. You're supposed to follow the commandment and statute as the best you can.
Right. And hold it, but here's the thing. So religions play to I'm gonna tell you one thing every religion has in common except for Islam, and that is that all religions cater to the female. All religions cater to something that controls the female. There is something about women that religions are very aware of, whereby they use them for destruction or help, right? But
or control.
Yes. Control, right? Because the females have jurisdiction over men when they're at their weakest point, and that is as a child.
Yes.
Right. If
you read this chapter for verse 1 to 6, the Most High explain what he's going to do before the final judgment, and to use that part to say Jesus will return and with a weapon and whatever. So to use that part too.
Right. And so yeah, so we're kind of, and this is what we're kind of aware of, right? And so the thing is, when I talk about this Order 66, right? When I talk about this Order 66, I'm talking to us and I'm saying we better wake up, because a lot of us are not seeing things for what they are. We're not seeing that this is an adversary, an enemy that cares nothing for us. All right. We are just a means to an end, and this is who they follow. All right.
Another thing regarding some book they remove. I already spoke about Enoch, Jasher, Jubilee, but they took the Apocrypha and removed it in most cases. But I believe in Apocrypha they have Maccabee, right?
Yeah, the Maccabees were the ones that kicked out.
Yes, Maccabee have a lot of things interesting in this. One, our lineage, people of the book, like I said, we fucked the Roman, and Roman had a lot of problem with us. And they tried to introduce worship of God, idolatry, and eating swan. And they knew we were following the book. That's why they corrupt the book.
Right.
A lot of people don't know that part. But is there something else? I will give you the verse later because I don't remember.
Hold on, wait. Let me say this. Josephus is the one that let the cat out the bag, and he informed the Romans, and this is why he was so instrumental. He informed the Romans that you will never be able to conquer them. They will always rise up against you, because we follow the book. We don't follow a man. All right. And this is what Josephus said. And so this is where Vespasian and Titus Flavian got the idea. You know what? Let's do this. Let's alter the beliefs of these people by recreating a book to be opposite to what they were doing. And this is what they did. Now, the Romans were good at one thing: destruction and psychological warfare. Right? All right. So when they went up to the Druids, and this is the point I wanted to make. When they went to the Druids, they destroyed the Druids. All right. They went and destroyed the Druids, and then they destroyed every last iota of their spirituality, because everybody, understand this, everybody where the Romans went and took all their stuff and destroyed all their spirituality, we all had one thing in common. We had access to a source of power that was not physical. All right. when you talk about Stonehenge and stuff, and the most powerful of those were the Hebrews that were in Egypt and in Jerusalem. And so that's why they went, Julius Caesar went and destroyed the library at Alexandria. And so basically, the United States operate on Roman principle, right? That what they did, what the United States government did, was they destroyed who we were before slavery. If we simply came from Africa, that wouldn't have been a problem.
True.
All right. And you have to ask yourself, why wouldn't they want us to have, when they took our language and stuff like that? Understand it. When they took our language and stuff like that, why do this? Why do this if we were simply from Africa?
And we cannot read for a long time too after.
Yeah. And so why do this? Right? One of the things is, do you know we're not supposed to be able to read? I want y'all to understand this. I want y'all to understand this. And I said this before. All right. I said this before, and I want y'all to understand this. And then I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna give you an example of what I mean. All right. We are not supposed to read. The Most High did not intend for us to read. The reason why we don't know a lot about the Most High, because we were taught to read by the fallen.
Yeah.
Okay. We were taught to read and write by the fallen.
Enough.
Do you hold on, let me finish this. All right. We were taught to read and write by the fallen. Do you know the problem with that? Okay. It's the same problem with technology. The more technology we have, the less we do with our physical bodies. Our physical bodies were designed to inhabit this earth and stuff like that. All right. We had the ability to run faster. We had the ability to do a lot of things that you see us doing. And you're like, oh, it's amazing how high he jumped and stuff. We could do more than that. We could do a lot more. We were greater than we are now. Y'all think we're smart, but with each piece of technology, Afro people in and of themselves become dumber and dumber. Now, this is why we weren't supposed to read. Alex Haley, when he was researching his book, right, he went to Africa to the Mandingo tribe, right, along the rivers of Kambe Malongo, right? And when he got there in the second part of like Roots Part 2, right, the journey, right? What happened was he went to an old guy that remembered all the history of all the people of that village in his head. What happened is they passed that history down from person to person to person to person. The person's job, few of the people were the history keepers. And from birth, they pass it down. Imagine the mind to be able to remember everything like you were a big, large tape recorder. And he started from the beginning. He was like, LSA, like, man, you started like from the beginning of existence. No, we need to go up further than that. And then he kept saying, well, no, go ahead that time, until he got to something that his parents remember. He said, stop there. Now that's the part I want to hear. Right. And so he was able to fast forward and rewind this guy like a tape recorder, only he wasn't a tape recorder. He was a human being. You don't understand the amazing power that our minds have, right? Now, here's the thing. In order to be that, the other thing you have to be is honest. All right. You have to be a person of truth. All right. And so basically, What happens is when you start writing something down and doing things by contract and stuff, the more you write, understand this, the more you write to remember, the less you'll remember. All right. The more you have something that dictates to you, the less you'll remember. Now, this is how I'm going to prove it. When I was younger, before cell phones came out, or even while cell phones came out and there was beepers and everything, I remembered the number of everybody I knew by heart.
True, true, true. Yes, it's true.
I
It's true.
remembered the number of, if I met another female, I remembered their number by heart. I was like, what's your number? They would say their number, and I had it by heart. How many people remember their own number with the cell phone? Let me hear about it in the comment section. How many people can still remember numbers right now? Now that we have cell phones that remember the number for us, and understand how bad that they want this technology to get. All right. The more technology we get, the dumber the human being gets, and also the weaker, the physically weaker he gets. Think
And
about this.
what you say is true because uh, we have the technology and also the education is going this way. People cannot have people are losing the capacity to have a critical thinking uh, process, and also uh, now we have AI,
Right.
AI, chat GPT, something like that, that can write text for us, the coding, do a lot of stuff for us. So now children, a lot of children at 5 or 6 years old, they already have cell phones. So 20 years from now, basically what I'm saying, we became dumb and dumber, and we are so much um, emotional, and everything's about feeling. The fact that does not matter now. Is there 69 gender science does not matter anymore. So what you say it's right, and also to use the education to make people dumber, more emotional, with no critical thinking skill. Everything is done by design to control people.
Mm-hmm.
When you have time, I send you a verse on Maccabi that explain what's going on the world right now with the leader of this world, or the leader of a community. I mean, the leader of a community, because we have a lot of collaborator or trader on the black community. And Maccabi, the first book, verse 1, chapter 11, they make agreement with some people of the
Mm-hmm.
community, and when you read that, you see story repeat itself.
But here's the thing. This is the point I'm making. All right. So somebody kept asking me, what Bible do you read? I said, I read a whole bunch of them, right? All right. But I've gotten to the point where I have an understanding of the Most High. Now I only use the Bible and stuff and what's written for other people because I don't need it anymore, right? Because once I start reading the commandments and I started to get it in my, so when the word is in your heart, then you know it. And so this is how I know what's in there, and then I can go back to it, right? Because I have that understanding, right? And so my memory got better the more I read for understanding.
Mhm.
Understand what I'm saying? My memory got better as was in the books. The more I read for understanding, because I was reading them for understanding of the Most High, so I wouldn't need the book to understand how to do something or what I'm supposed to do in things. This is why I said that if a man is sleeping with a woman that has a baby, all right, he better make sure that the man with whom the baby comes from is not paying child support. Because if he is, you're committing adultery. Because I know what adultery is. I don't call anything cheating. There's no such thing as cheating. You're either committing adultery or you're not. The
Yes.
reason why our government came up with cheating was to give the B-dub control over men. Because here's the thing: while they're trying to tell us to be not monogamous, most power couples have a wife that's public and have a bunch of women that are
In rotation.
stop in rotation for the husband. Okay, period. In all them power couples. All right, it is what it is. Remember the madam? Okay. Remember the madam that would not give up her sources? She went to jail. Okay. These are all these powerful senators with wives, but she was like, no, I'm keeping my black book and going to jail. All right. Now you got to understand, she was probably rewarded in jail heavily, handsomely, right? And so this is what we have, and this why it's the other reason why the side chick, and when you look at it, the B dub is a weapon and everything. So if you're going to have her as a side, you better not do it, because she's going to use it as leverage. She ain't going to jail to keep your secret. She's going to put it out there the first opportunity that she can get to leverage it against you. So there's no such thing as cheating. Cheating was created for that. It was to control Afro men in particular. When we refer to the United States as the plantation, that wasn't chosen lightly. All right, and we looked at her as the masters, the not the owners, but the masters of the plantation. In this photo here, you're looking at the owners, the Democrats, and some Republicans, the owners of the plantation, right? And so when we call things what they are, men can be guilty of adultery, but there's no such thing as cheating. And adultery is, if a woman has a baby by a dude and he's paying child support, oh, he's paying child support, that makes him her husband. But the government is making him pay. The government just made him your husband. So all the dudes that's sleeping with women that have children, that's getting child support, all right, bam, bada boom, bada bing. And I would be careful with that. So it's better for your spirit to just leave the United States and not deal with these women. Because what are your options when over 70% of B dubs are single mothers, and 59% of them have multiple children from multiple babies' daddies? 59%. And 61% of the baby daddies, or in the case of the Afro Black community, greater than 61% of those baby daddies with multiple children from multiple baby mamas are dudes just coming out of jail or prison. So that's who you're going to follow behind, right? No. No. It's leverage for her happiness, and she looks at you as her slave. Let's not get it twisted, right? Let's not get it twisted. And so that's why I don't be laid up in some other woman's house, all right, with a bunch of children running around. Now, here's the thing. It's something that I had to repent from once I came to the knowledge of what it really was. Because my knowledge of what stuff was based on what the B-dub said, who was following the government, right? And the government makes laws that all these ordinances, like the marriage license, that's 1926. That's when that came to be. Before 1926, nobody was getting a license to get married.
I believe also passport. That's something that came maybe 80 or 90 years ago. Prior to that, people were traveling So, and also I always do this discussion with my friend. I say, you know what? When you take a mortgage and for 25, 30, 35 years, does make any sense because you can die at any moment, or that's 40% of your life at least. And back then, maybe 8 years ago, uh, some friend or family member would get together and build a house in 2 weeks, then you're good. But now we have to take a mortgage and become a slave. So the system doesn't make any sense.
No, hold it. You know why you have to take a mortgage? You know why you have to take a mortgage in the United States? Because of mineral rights. You never really outright own the land. You got to make sure you own the land that you're on. If you own the land that you're on, they made ordinance for how you build a house now, right? And so, um, right,
But
and here we go. And
my,
so in the United States, and this is the mortgage scam. This is the mortgage scam. You used to be able to go into the woods, um, cut down some trees, build you a log cabin and stuff like that. I remember a show like Grizzly Adams. I wanted to be Grizzly Adams. Go live in the woods with a bear and
but
eat and flapjacks all night.
I know in California, someplace, uh, you're not allowed to use your electrical panel for or a solar panel someplace because they want to control everything. They want to remove your freedom. So because right now, when you're paying the price of energy, especially in Europe, it doesn't make any sense. But if you build your house or you set up your house some way, you can have some leverage
Right.
or you grow your food. I know in the United States, in some place around the world in the West, they try to ban the option to sell seed for food. So
Right. But you can do it in the United States. But it's a
it's right.
one of the things is I thought was peculiar is you can't bring seeds or fruit to the United States from anywhere else. And United States don't have female trees. They don't have fruit bearing trees. When you leave the United States, every other country have fruit bearing trees. That just everywhere. When you go to Brazil, you could pick a mango off a tree. You
Yeah,
can
true.
literally pick a mango off a tree. You can
Mango,
kind of
lemon.
yeah, you can kind of do it in Colombia too. All right, but yeah, you can go to some place. You could pick plums. You could pick fruit off a tree. I remember when Brother Elijah first came down to Brazil with me, and he was like, "Man, how are people hungry? You could just all this fruit on these trees." Right? And the United States is such a sterile, barren country that they got rid of all female trees so that people wouldn't have fruit to pick. This is the slave mentality, the slaver mentality of the corporations running the United States, where they don't want people to have free water, they don't want people to have free air. They're poisoning the air. All right, and this is it's a wicked system that the Most High needs to burn to the ground.
What's going
It
on?
is with
What's going on with Ohio Palestine?
it's
The,
just a it's
the
just
president, the
hold on.
president.
Let me put it this way. I'm gonna tell you exactly what's going on. Joe Biden is putting all his political capital into the Ukraine because
Yes,
nothing is more important than the people where he had all them crummy deals with that the FBI refused to investigate, and that's on the laptop and stuff like that because even they are as corrupt as the Democrat and Republican government is. It's just full of corruptions and stuff like that. But anyway,
but
with that said, hold on, let
what?
me.
Because basically you went to Ukraine, but you have a disaster with the train in Palestine.
He went to Ukraine before he would go to Ohio. Let that sink in. Like I said, Emperor Palpatine. Order 66, the destruction of hetero males in the United States. and the ABW, they are the Inquisitors, and the Afro men. We are the Light Order Jedi Knights that they want to show.
One thing does make any sense, because if you try to destroy masculinity in the United States and then you want to fight Russia,
Hey, hold on. Nothing makes sense. Hold on. Does anything this government is doing make any sense? No, they don't care because they're corrupt. They're making money for themselves, and they don't give a damn about people. It's only about them, and they've been put in power by people. Understand? They've been put in power by people who's going to carry their water no matter what, because they've been put in power by people that hate to admit they're wrong, that hate to admit they made a wrong choice, or didn't care because they're in their feelings and they follow the media hook, line, and sinker, and that's it. But with that said, let me say this because I gotta I'm getting ready to cut this off. It's time for me to get back to what I'm doing. Um, like, share, and subscribe. Right? Like, share, um, like, share, subscribe. My PayPal and Cash App is in the description box. Don't forget, for the people that just came in, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. My what's in the description box? My whatchamacallit is in the description box. Yeah, no, the other thing. Hold on.
Cash App.
No, my oh, my what's in the description box? Oh, my Twitter.
Oh,
the
yes,
Twitter. I'm gonna put the stuff that I had up on TikTok in my Twitter. So that is going to be in the description box as well.
Okay.
All right. So my Twitter is going to be in the description box. Oh yeah, when you subscribe, click the bell. Thank you, Youngboy24. All right, so click the bell when you subscribe, right? To get notifications. And brothers, it's important that you share my videos, is because it is shadow banned. When I put a regular video up, in the first hour, it'll get views, but they'll tell that it's up, and then it won't get a view for the rest of the time. Period. It might get one view every other day. Now you know that's shadow banning, especially when I got over 3,000 subscribers. I got more subscribers, and they're blocking subscribers too. All right, so it is what it is. All right, Lord Vader. All right, so with that said, y'all, I'm out. Peace, love, and soul. I gotta get the packing because I head for the DR on the 1st. I head for the DR on the 1st, and I think I got my suitcase packed, and I'm about to pack my other thing. All right. So with that said, I'm out. Peace, love, and soul. And thank you, brother, people of the book. All right, for stopping by. And for those that donated, for the brother that donated, thank you. And I will holler at you all later.
Okay, sure.
All right. Peace, love, and soul. I'm out. I'll be back later. Hey, thanks.